recording. Yeah, so you can, so here's where you set your brand voice inside of HubSpot, just for clarity, for record keeping purposes. This is under settings, AI. And then it's actually, I think it's in the brand kit. Yeah, brand voice. You can do personality, tones. There's some advanced settings as well. And then even channel specific settings. So for example, if you want to sound different in your LinkedIn posts versus in your Instagram posts, like if you want to be more professional on LinkedIn and then more like playful on Instagram, you can even like break it down and do that. On top of that, you have these ideal customer profiles that you can set up, and you can set up your different products and services, and these all get pulled in to the AI content that you're making. So David, it sounds like you have a lot of this already built out, or it would be fairly easy for you to use your existing ChatGPT to build these out. And I would definitely encourage you to do that. I wouldn't period, just come in here and try to fill this out on my own. And even the brand voice section, I was telling a friend, I mean, I probably think my brand voice is probably different than what it actually is, because it's hard to, it's hard to really know what your voice is. So I think it's also worth like kind of having an AI tool objectively look at your website, your emails, your content, and kind of help you identify what your voice is either way.
That's kind of what the step we had to take, because the first step here was, at least in the wizard, was upload, some examples of your writing. But the dependency on that is that writing was dialed in. Mm-hmm. And the whole point of this is to help you get dialed in. So it's very likely you were not dialed in. And so what you're uploading is a lesser version. And so what I did was go over to ChatGPT, write some optimized version. Mm-hmm. Now that all these things have been kind of discovered, so to speak, write some optimized versions, and then use those to trick, basically, the wizard to say, this is our writing.
Yeah. I think that's fine. Because, yeah, I mean, like you said, you're trying to get dialed in. I don't think it's a trick. I think it's a...
yeah.
I think you did it the right way.
A workaround.
It's good to like evaluate your brand voice anyway, because even as a company, like when we rebranded, we went through the exercise to build our brand voice and our new brand kit, everything. But then as we're publishing things, especially when it comes to like social and stuff, the feedback is we're playing it too safe. There's not much edgy. There's not much fun in like the content we're writing. But if you look at like the descriptors of what we actually said was our brand, there's nothing in there that really gives you that edge, fun, something else. Mm-hmm. So it either that's just in our unwritten brand voice, or we need to like go back and edit that official documents that say that, because it's not actually that, and not just for GPT purposes, but I mean, are we like, we don't say anything about being fun and edgy or whatever.
Yeah. That's also why I think these channel specific settings are really cool, because you could be edgy in your, in your social, but not on your website. And I even like, I think like emails, for example, like emails, I want to be very like personal and one-to-one, but on my website, I don't necessarily, because that's weird. Like, my website isn't one-to-one, like obviously. So I think there's even some interesting things you can do there. But all that to say, like, it's worth spending the time building out your brand voice and adjusting it. Like your brand, I mean, yes, your brand voice is supposed to be consistent, but it's not. Your brand, just like people, evolve over time. Their opinions evolve, their tones evolve. That's just part of it.
Casey?
Yes.
Is this setting right under the main settings cog?
It is settings, and then under AI, and then data sources.
No, but like how you get to it, is it like, do you click on the cog and then get to it?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry. Yeah. Yep. All right. So yeah, all of that to say the brand voice and your AI data sources are going to be important with anything you're building content in HubSpot based off of. But today I do want to kind of circle back into content remix. As I mentioned at the top, this is one of my favorite recent tools in HubSpot. I think it's really cool because you can take an asset that you already have or multiple assets that you have and mix them together, remix them into something else. I literally use this tool every day. I do a morning podcast with Chris Carolyn and George B. Thomas, where we run through the HubSpot updates each day. I take that recording and I turn it into a blog post. I waited to do that today so I can show you guys exactly what that looks like. I'll show you what it looks like just so you know, like, truly how little effort I put into this. But also we'll kind of back up and look at, you know, there are some foundations that took a decent amount of time to now get to the point where I spend 5 minutes each day making this blog post. So I'll try to show you like the forest through the trees, and then we'll kind of backpedal a little bit and we'll talk how we got there. Because I don't want to lie to you and tell you like I just put in a single prompt and now we're here. It definitely took some time and some adjusting, and there are some things I'm still trying to get it to do that I haven't been successful in getting it to do yet also. So we'll talk about all of that. Is anyone else using Content Remix? It is part of Content Hub, which is not the most popular hub, but it has a lot of really good assets, especially if you're using AI to create content. I think it's worth checking out. And this is not a sales pitch. I don't get commission from HubSpot, so.
Does it come with the free version or is this just with the paid version?
This is paid for.
Yeah, so I don't think I have it.
Yeah.
So it'd be good to see.
Yeah. And it's definitely a paid feature. Like sometimes, you check things out and you're like, yeah, that makes sense that you have to pay for it. So for me each day, I take the podcast recording and I upload it into HubSpot. I've already done that. And then I have a saved template. This is the part that like takes some work getting up, but now that I have it is very easy. So I have this, it's called Wake Up Customer Platform Daily Remix Casey, which is the one I made. And now I go in and I add content. I add the video file, which I've already uploaded. Here it is. Add. And then this is the part of the template that's already saved. These are the custom instructions that I've given it, and I've adapted these over time. We'll talk a little bit about like how I've done that. Spoiler alert, AI wrote this. But yeah, so there's specific instructions: transform this video transcript into an objective news article for the Profoundly blog, follow these requirements. I have the article opening structure. I'm even mentioning like it should be an H3 headline. That summarizes the content with 2 or 3 paragraph introduction, states the date, provides context, and sets the reader up for what they'll learn. Then it has a more tag that's really nuanced. But then there's a platform updates detailed section. Each update is formatted exactly in this format. The title of the update, 2 or 3 sentence description of the update, 1 to 2 sentences about the business impact or user benefit of the update. And then it says view more details, visit, and then it links to the update itself. So I just uploaded the video. I'm going to click generate content from here. Sorry, I have 2 things that it's going to do. The big thing is the blog, but then the other thing it's going to do is it's going to generate 3 video clips of from the video that are kind of talking about one product update. We have some specifics here about it being a minute to 2 minutes and should be like complete, including the why it doesn't matter as well. It does take a little bit of time, not like a ton of time, but usually what I do is I add the video, then I'll go answer an email from a client or something. I then also add the podcast audio. To be honest, I don't know if this part's super necessary, but I just kind of get into a cadence of doing something, and now I'm too afraid to stop. The video audio might be enough. I'm just not like 100% certain. Originally we actually only uploaded the audio. We started uploading the video just to get the clips here. But now I'll add the podcast. It's going to remix again. I do think this is kind of annoying. Hey, Nico, we have some questions for you. I'm so glad you're here.
Hey, Casey,
Yes.
when we get the Fathom update from you, does it have a link to the recording?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so somehow I missed it in the whole thing. All right, thanks.
Yep. It'll have a recording.
Like the video recording, because this is so useful.
Yep. You'll just click view meeting and it will take you to Fathom for the video.
Okay, thank you.
But also, Cameron's uploading all of the videos to YouTube. It's just a couple steps. So
Okay, thank you.
so I know that you'll get the Fathom though right away. Then the last thing I do is I add content and then I add a blog page and text, and I start from new text. And this is probably the most manual part of this whole process. I save the links for each update during the show. I usually tell people, if you catch me during the show not listening or missing my cue, it's probably because I was trying to do this at the same time, and multitasking is a scam. But the reason I save them is so that I can upload them here and get those attached to the blog post. But those are the 3 things I add. Like I said, I'll answer some emails while I'm like waiting, but you can see like the actual time I spent like doing anything here is fairly minimal. The longest thing is like waiting for videos to upload and things to be created. Once it's done generating, I can click into the blog. It'll give me a preview, but I'll be honest, like I don't love this preview because I can't tell from here if the links are right. I can't tell if the formatting's right. I have to save and edit an app. But now it has a full blog post. I'll go through, check the links. Oh, that's one very cool update. They're rolling it out slowly. And you go. But yeah, then I just check the links and stuff, but it's a full blog right here. And I spent, basically no time generating it. As I mentioned, I think the best AI generated content comes from human content that is then spun up into a different format. Like, to me, the value of having this blog is Chris, George, and I spoke all these words. We gave our opinions, and now AI is making that into like a text-based article. So if you prefer to consume your content in a text-based format, now you have that option on top of the audio if you'd rather hear Chris, George, and I talk nonsense. You have options. And I think that's what makes this really cool. Now, this did not just like the first time I did this just like come out perfectly. I worked with AI on the prompts here. And one of the many reasons I'm happy to have Nico here is he recently showed me, I don't know when you showed, I don't know if it was on one of these, Nico, or on the boot camp, but this prompt developer, ChatGPT, custom GPT widget app, I don't know, is one of the ways you can do this. I didn't specifically use this in my instance because I didn't know about it when I did that, but this is what I would definitely do now. And what I would do is I would take the transcript from the audio file and I would say, hello, prompt developer. I want to take this transcript and here's like the style of post I want. Please write a prompt about that, or that would give me that from Content Remix. So I would say, I want a prompt. The mixed blessing of having Nico here is he has to see how bad I am at prompting. I'm always worried. I don't know, Nico, if you can see the text into Hub Helper Harry, but I think of that sometimes. I'm like, I hope Nico's not reviewing these.
No, I can't see. I can't see anybody's conversation.
Good. I
Not
think
yet,
of that sometimes. I'm
But
like,
once
Nico's
the
like,
paid version comes
Casey,
out, different story.
why can't Casey spell anything correctly? I'm like, oh.
Oh, I'm right in the same boat. Don't worry about it.
Podcast where I cover the daily updates, remix the audio file into a blog post. All right. And then what I did was, I mean, I probably spent a couple hours when I was first doing this. But I would put the prompt in, I would put the audio file in, I would look at the output, and then I would send the output to GPT, Claude, whatever you're using to help you write the prompt and say, I like this and this, it didn't do this and this, can you adjust? And then you just kind of do that cycle until you're happy with the output. I mean, that's kind of it, right, Nico? Am I oversimplifying it?
I'm sorry, I missed what you said.
You're fine. I was just saying, like, I would give Remix this prompt, give it my audio file, my transcript, get the output, and then go back to GPT or whatever I'm using and say, hey, here's the output. This is what I like, what I didn't like. Can you adjust?
Yeah, that sounds right.
If you have examples,
except that, like, so you stop short basically. So it's like, here's what it came up with. Can you adjust? And it's like, can you adjust for what? Like, does it have the context of what you're adjusting for, why you're doing the adjustment, what the end goal of that adjustment is supposed to be?
mm-hmm.
Then you're taking it like to the further level where it's going to be more refined and closer to what you want.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you're saying like I had trouble for a while getting it to include the links to the updates, and even formatting that in a way I wanted it to.
So for that is that output format there. So that's where you can, I mean, you can legitimately use that as like, this is exactly what I want it to look like, right? And so that output format can be structured in that way. And it can be generic. So in other words, like how it has it there for each update title is an H3, right? I don't expect everybody to know like markup and tag language like that, but you could just say like update is a header or like update header or something like that. And then you see like short paragraph. So you can add something under there like list and then what the list is supposed to be. Just really generic explanation, stuff like that. And so like closing line, I would just add underneath that, put source or resource for whatever it is, right? And then yeah, the example is what you want. Like, so if it gave everything but that one thing, then just put all of that as the good example and then add the one thing to it. And it knows now like, oh, okay, the output is this, and here's what that should look like too.
And
so that's the reason why that prompt developer is so strong, is because it forces you to have to give the context that should be there so that it can actually perform what it's supposed to for you.
yeah, so you can see like you can see kind of the problems I was having when you read my prompt. So it says never use generic links like HubSpot product update or learn more. Always use descriptive link text that identifies the specific update. Like, obviously, I was complaining about this. And so it added that into the prompt for me. And then it even has like examples of good links. And then the writing styles and everything are in here. Do you know, Nico? I don't. And so if you don't, that's also fine. Obviously, you don't have to have all the answers. We were talking earlier about brand voice. Do you know how this intersects or does not with brand voice? Because I feel like almost my instructions might be like overpowering the brand voice potentially.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure that brand voice plays into this automatically, unless it's like part of the step process.
Okay.
But that's one of those things where if you had the final product from GPT, then you either create, like I would create an agent, a custom agent for it, that you would just take that output, bring over to your custom agent, and it's just a one button, it's a copy paste, one button press where like, hey, here's the output blog from GPT. Can you apply our brand voice to this and, give me the newer version?
I'm wondering if you can tag. No, it doesn't look like brand voice isn't something I can like include in here. But really that makes sense because I'm remixing all of this stuff. That's the whole point.
Right. It would be nice if there was like a universal control there for like remix voice or like what voice you're going for with the remixed content. But
it'd be cool too, like if like you did this output and I don't just want it for like the company, but I also have a voice set up for like each one of our leaders too. That'd be cool.
Yeah,
idea.
That would be cool.
All in due time. Sure.
One day. Yeah, really. We'll have more than one brand voice. Yeah. The video clips also I mentioned, I get those. The video clips I tend to edit a little bit more than I edit the blog post. That's potentially like my own perfectionism or something there. I find sometimes it like cuts people off a little bit more than I'd like to. But it does clip like pretty good things. And just yesterday, I made very few edits to a video and then posted it on LinkedIn from there pretty easily. The one piece I've been struggling with this is the social posts. I have in the past post my like top 5 updates of the day. I fell off of it. And part of it is part of that actually is I was trying to get Remix to write that post for me. And I've just had a really hard time getting Remix to do that. I think part of it is potentially the voice piece. It will pull the top 5 updates for me. That part is fairly easy. However, my posts usually have like an intro and an outro that are a little bit more personal and like in my voice. And I've had a hard time getting the Remix tool, or really any tool, to just like generate that. And that's been an important piece to me. I could make it just the updates, and that would be fine. But for me, it's important that like my voice is in there. And I've had a hard time kind of getting that.
You're saying within HubSpot?
Within HubSpot, yeah.
Have you tried a custom assistant?
Aha! A friend of Chris Carolyn, everyone. Yeah, Chris built one for me. Or maybe I built it, but he told me what buttons to press. Yes, I have a custom agent that does this. You'll see, I used it earlier. Can you draft a new post for today's episode? I linked to the post, and then I said, here are the updates. And then I just pasted the updates and the links. But you'll see here, it said top 5 updates from today. If you missed today's wake up, total whirlwind. Coming in hot after what's definitely been a wild inbound season. It's pulling from, like, we gave it examples. It's not inbound season anymore, I think. It's fair to say. So it's still pulling from those like examples and not like something more generally. So what I do instead is I say, can you relate the intro more to the transcript? Maybe make it more like, and then I like write something random. Not random. I mean, I write something that I think is interesting, and then it rewrites, and it's better from there. But basically, I mean, and not to say like, this still saved me a lot of time. I wrote like, it's Halloween.
Right.
And it wrote something like better. Which is fine. I think, and part of it, and Chris and I have talked about this too, like, part of this for me is being a human. And if I just give it to AI, it's not going to be from me.
Well, okay. So the way that I look at this, I think it's actually the same way I've always looked at it, is that everybody just gets promoted. So, and I know that seems weird, but just think of it this way. You get promoted, and instead of being, everybody gets promoted to manager. And instead of being a manager of people, you are just managing your AI team. Right. So, and for now it's a team. Pretty soon it'll just be a singular agent. But anyhow, so in managing that team, realistically, what you're doing is the same thing any manager would do, which is reviewing the work that gets done and making sure that it was done properly. Right. So yes, I do agree that there is an aspect of it that requires, obviously, the human touch, right? I just think that at this point, if you build it properly, whatever the tool is that you're using, whatever AI model you're working with, then it should be really easy to like throw down that nearly molded clay where, yes, you're doing editing, but it's not a whole lot because it's really close to how you would have created, written, performed, whatever it is.
So is it like one thing I think of a lot is like, what are our expectations for AI right now, and like, are those reasonable? Like, and I guess from this perspective, like, is it unreasonable for me to expect? And I think it is. Like, I think it's unreasonable for me to expect at this point for AI to write this without me helping it write that. Or is that not?
Well, I couldn't agree and say AI altogether. I would agree and say that, well, yeah, maybe not even assistant, because it all comes back to the beginning. Garbage in, garbage out, right? So if there's not a whole lot in the knowledge base for that assistant that mimics the way in which you write things, because the AI is only going to be as good as the training is for it. So you have to have both. You have to have good examples, which includes all the ways in which you write things, and then you also should have like bad examples, which should be all the just copy paste of things, ways that stuff gets written that you hate. And if you do that, then you've already like centered the needle quite a bit. Your instructions kind of take it quite a bit further from there. So once you pair those two things together, you should really have something that is like so good it should stun you, right? Like that's the level it could go to. And that, I think, is where the separation happens, right? So when it comes to like skill level and quality of AI work and quality of AI output, I think if you are a little bit more amateur, like not quite like as in depth with it, then you're kind of rushing it and you're taking sort of the first or second thing that comes along, and then you're moving on, and maybe you're not even using that many models. You're just going between 1 and 2 or something like that. I think where people have more expertise in it, they start to care more. So it goes a lot deeper than that. So you start to create a custom model, and you start to create custom data sets, and then you create custom instructions that specifically feed to those data sets and teach the model how to read and what it's supposed to be and its persona and all this other stuff. So that you end up with a much more fine-tuned partner to work with than just whatever the out of the box thing is. So I think that's how you definitely get close to, I mean, at this point, I like every model I work with. Yeah, every model I work with doesn't make a mistake. So doesn't matter what the like, and that doesn't mean that like if I ask it for a dissertation on something, then the dissertation is perfect. It just doesn't make a mistake in terms of it doesn't exclude something, it doesn't like overreach, it doesn't try too hard, gives me the information that's necessary, etc. If I ask it for code, it's perfect. If I ask it to create something as like graphic, it's perfect. If I'm doing slide decks, they're perfect. I don't really, so the only thing I do is just overwatch and make sure everything looks the way I want it to look, or reads how I want it to read, sounds how I want it to sound. And I think that, right, like is the, if you're having cherry pie, does it matter like necessarily that it's cherry pie, or does it matter what ingredients got used to make it? Right. So there's 3 layers to it. There's the pie itself and what type it is. There's the ingredients that got used, and then there's the person that made it. And like, or I should say the person matters because there's the method. There's the actual directions, right? So I think in these cases, a lot of people talk about like, oh, well, there's only going to be like one dominant thing. There's like 2.5 million different AI models out there. Just most people don't know about all the other ones, right? And it's all just a matter of flavor. It's all just a matter of like what pie you like, what flavor you like with that. You know, If you like doing a lot of multimedia stuff where it's very easy to explain to people how to do things, maybe you're an educator, maybe you have to do a lot of reporting, maybe you have to do a lot of presentations, board presentations and stuff, or maybe you have to do a lot of research. Okay, that's a Notebook LM thing, or that's a Google Gemini thing, right? Like that's that whole suite of stuff, because Anthropic doesn't do all of that. It doesn't all tie into your Google accounts. So it's, I mean, the content can, but it can't output to your Google account. OpenAI only goes so far, and despite what they say, their deck creation stuff in both cases, Claude and OpenAI suck back there. Like, it's still the same. The same adage is true: jack of all trades, master of none. Right. So like Claude is really good at writing and being creative. GPT is very, very good at being strategic and like disciplined when it comes to regulations and stuff. Gemini is really good when it comes to a sort of flex between the two. It's a nice middleman. It's not it has tools that are amazing. So VO3 is definitely amazing. Nano Banana, definitely amazing. Gemini itself as a model, again, great for deep research, not really the greatest in general, but really good if you're doing multimedia stuff. So I think it's definitely a matter of like to each their own for one. And then, you know, if you're using the right tool for the job for another, even with Gemini, you have like custom gems or projects with Claude. So yeah, I think it's definitely at a point where by December or January, I think a lot of this level of like, well, it can't do this like super well or something like that. I think like that all goes away.
Hey, Nico, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Gemini. So I've been very successful with it, but for whatever reason, I can't get it to generate good images. Even if I give a sample and example, you know, like write it out. How have you trained it to do that?
So I have gems that are specific to, I kind of jump between two things. And again, jack of all trades, master of none. So like Gemini is really good, but it's good at generating, you know, lifelike images. If you're trying to generate like real people, it's really good at that. It's okay at surrealism, but not the best. So
That's what I'm finding. Like if I wanted to generate any images for a blog or anything which is conceptual, it doesn't do it all that well.
Yeah, I would. So GPT is really good at surrealism.
Okay.
That's one of the things it excels at. Gemini is really good at realism. For it's tough because there's oh, you know what is it called? There's this platform out there. It's called Higgsfield. It has access to everything, and so one of the models that, in my opinion, is the absolute best for everything is called Flux Content Max. There's also Flux Content Pro, which they're both really good, but Context Max is utterly amazing.
Can you put a link to that? Like, is this another AI model?
Yeah. It's like it's a service, so it's like ChatGPT.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I know that between all the names, I'll probably forget that. One other request. I had sent you a connection request, and then it's like I cleaned it out, and I can't send you again. Can I put my link on LinkedIn link on chat? Can you connect it, please?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, thank you. So what
No
was
problem.
it? Is this the link, Casey?
The link to
The one that Nico was just talking about, the Flux, the Oh,
Yeah, this is Higgsfield, which is
Higgsfield?
it's that app I was talking to you about. So here you can, I mean, it's like everything under the sun that you can explore with this in terms of like whether you want to create images, whether you want to create video, like all types of stuff. And you'll see like all the different models here.
Yeah.
It is a premium model, but if you do images a lot, it's very much worth it. It's literally it in my opinion, like I've used all of them. And if you're doing marketing images,
Yeah, I do.
yeah, so like like for surrealism, again, like GPT is really good at that. I couldn't explain why, but it's just very good. I think maybe because of the way the conversations that it's had with people, or maybe even, I don't know, images people have uploaded, who knows. So you could start there, obviously, and create like a reference, assuming that Higgs couldn't knock it out right out the gate. But I haven't had bad experience with Context Max.
How much do you pay for this?
I don't, only because of the fact that I have a Gamma subscription. And so if you have Gamma, you can actually create AI images just willy-nilly. And you can still use like every model you have access to. Oh, nice. But yeah, Context Max is still it's the best for like writing comes out perfectly, like every style of writing you can think of. Images come out perfectly as far as I can tell. Yeah, I love it. Ideogram is actually really not bad for if you have to do like text-based graphics. Ideogram is pretty good.
What is this one, Casey? What are you showing?
It's Nico
this is
screen.
Gamma.
Oh, it's Gamma.
Yep.
Okay.
And this app, if you hate doing decks, this app is amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah.
Gamma is really good for decks. I did it for my lead scoring thing, and I had like 24 hours to do a deck and was pretty stressed about it. And then it just like made it. And I was like, oh.
So I was running into a challenge because I'm trying to write a blog and the flywheel. And I got so frustrated yesterday because I couldn't produce it in the colors I wanted. And the one thing I find so frustrating with any of like Google PowerPoint or whatever is to be able to create that rounded arrow. I mean, you can't even create it well in Photoshop. So
Yeah.
does Gamma do a good job of that, incorporating colors and then creating the flywheel? Do you know? I think I saw you showing it, Casey, at one point in one of the things you brought up.
It's Nico's screen, I think.
Oh.
Yeah, sorry. Let's see. It's in the wrong direction. We're doing a page, right? Sweet. Okay, so probably do some extensive if we wanted. Don't care. Okay. Do I have? I don't know if I have an ultra subscription. I don't think I do. Let's go with ideogram. I don't think we need anything fancy. Okay, right, for business. Conversational and magic. I love the cases in which you can like just kick back and go grab a cup of coffee and then come back and whatever you wanted was done. Would be so awesome if it actually gets the logo. No. Can it find it? Oh, that would have been so amazing if it could recreate it. I mean, at least you have the placement for it, and I think I have. I've sniped it from somewhere. I think it's just from Google, to be honest. There you go. The one has it super big, but that's not the greatest. But what you could do is maybe take this, copy, go to Gemini, create images. As a solid. Is that really like that's the resolution it's gonna get? That's so terrible. Oh my gosh. Oh, I wonder, Casey, were you ever on the episode where I went nuts creating a band in like 30 minutes or something?
No.
So I have I wish I could go through all of the stuff that I have or that I use, but really don't have a whole lot of time for it. Anyhow, Image Resizers is a really great site for doing stuff like this. I don't know if I can actually.
Also,
Yeah, I don't know where I
Nico,
talk.
John asked in the chat when to use content remix versus when to use an agent. In my, I'm curious what Nico's thoughts are here. I think content remix is good if you're bringing in like multiple sources, or in the case like where I'm kind of doing a fairly repetitive thing every day. But I'm sure an agent certainly could do something similar.
Or when to use the content remix versus like the marketing, the campaign, I forgot the new, what it's called. Since you can like set that up too, and it will create all that content.
The marketing studio, or
Yeah. Since that creates all those additional things.
does it create? I haven't played a whole lot in Marketing Studio yet. Does it create additional things? I thought it was more of a
Include like a document that just has like an external blog and all the details on that, and then it's created from there all the different social posts, emails, blog, everything, and it's still pulled in templates and stuff.
I mean, right. As someone that hasn't tried out every, combination, it probably depends on what your subscription is. But generally, like once you get into a cadence or, I think the most important thing is like setting it up. So once you have like the process set up somewhere, then you can just repeat it from there. I don't want to like say one's better than the other. I think it's just wherever setting up and like wherever the function also makes sense for you. If that makes sense. I know that's like not an answer. It's a politician answer, if you will.
No,
But I think there's like a bunch of different places you can do something similar at this point. And like Nico was saying, right now, your job is to like take all these agents and like manage them. But like Nico was saying, eventually it probably won't be multiple agents. It'll probably be more streamlined than that. But that's not where we are right now. So right now there are multiple places you could do this. It kind of comes down to where you're most comfortable and where you have the system built already. And this is Remix is one of the places you can do it. If that makes sense.
I don't think there's a single thing that stops me from doing anything when it comes to like converting files or like getting content from somewhere. At least that I've come across. Did it not actually save it?
Nico, you're going fast. You've just built this in Firefly?
So
This
what
one?
what I did was go to Google Images and
Okay.
somebody has the graphic, right?
Yeah.
But what happens is when you save it, it saves as a web
Yeah, no, that I
file,
know.
which is
Oh, so-
great if you were hosting it like on your website and you
Yeah.
understand how to load it.
Yeah.
But that's Cloud Convert is another service that I use that can convert pretty much everything. So you just go there and just convert the web file to an actual PNG. And then you can use that if you wanted to use it as like a basis for doing something with the Loop logo or whatever.
Yeah.
I can't remember where the resource is, but I did send you a connection, I think. There we go.
Oh,
Okay,
on LinkedIn?
so I sent you a connection. Yeah, and just shoot me a message. And I know I have the graphic already somewhere, or yeah, because it's like one of these. I think it's maybe this one.
I don't have
Yeah,
anything
maybe
yet.
It might take a minute, maybe.
Okay.
I did hit the button though. I promise.
It's usually it. Oh, there you go.
See.
Thank you. I'm so honored. Thank you.
You're
I'll
good.
shoot you a message.
Yeah.
I'll shoot you a message. I have to drop off. I have to go volunteer somewhere. So, I mean, this has been so helpful. Thank you so much, guys, for running these. I'm learning so much from this. So, I mean, I'm a seasoned professional, but like HubSpot is new to me. So this is just so helpful. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you for showing up.
All right. Have a great day, everyone, and a great weekend.
All right.
You
Have a
too.
good weekend, everyone.
Bye.
See you guys.